Hello, Diasporan Mom family. How are you? I'm really excited today to be doing this episode. For a while now, I've been receiving questions from some of you around the topics that we've discussed. And what I want to do today is try and respond to some of those questions. So, my first one: how do I help my child build a positive identity in their new culture? Now, that's a really, really important question because, as we know, we said identity centers us. We are all very much linked to who we are and how people perceive us. So, for your child in a new culture, it is really important that they are centered. So, how do you help your child build a positive identity? First, you have to demonstrate a positive attitude for your child around their identity and their culture. If every day you're saying things that perhaps are not uplifting, are not uh, positive about your identity, that will seep into your child's consciousness. And I know that sometimes we do this unconsciously because there are challenges in the countries that we have come from. So we say negative things about the country. Now, for your child, their only connection most of the time to that country is the things that you say. Say the positives around your culture. That way, your child experiences it and can see that you are proud of your identity and they will be proud too. Secondly, open spaces for discussion. Don't just tell your child, do this and that is it. Explain to them why we do things that way, why it is important that we do things that way, and how that reinforces our bonds as a community. How it links, for instance, to our ethos of Ubuntu, communalism, and how that impacts on them both in the short term and in the long term. That is really important. Thirdly, ensure that your child has a network that reflects who they are to them. And that is part of what we talked about in our episodes, building your village. Build a village that your child can see, that what you say at home is reinforced by others as well. And they can see that positivity in the identity around them. And finally, remember, once your child develops a positive identity, it allows them to embrace the culture that they are in a way that is healthy for them, in a way that does not cause chaos in their own minds. So having a positive identity is not about rejecting the culture around them. It is about coming from a place of strength to embrace the culture around them. Here is another question from one member of our community. Says, I really need your guidance regarding my daughter's GCSE subjects. She was asked to choose textiles, photography, and arts in addition to her core science. This is quite confusing. I wanted to read that question in full because I think it speaks to a particular question that others have also asked, which I can conceptualize as, how do I advocate for my child when I don't understand the system? So remember, you're new, you're in a new culture, and the educational system is also strange to you. How do you advocate for your child? First, just know that you have a right to ask questions. Never feel that you cannot ask questions. So ask questions, lots and lots of them. If there's anything you don't understand, ask the teachers. The other thing that I'll ask you to do is, please speak to someone who understands the system outside of the school, somebody who can guide you. That could be another parent from your village that you're growing. That could be from church. But find somebody who can guide you and help you navigate what the issues are. Because, for instance, in this question, the parent didn't understand why the child was being asked to choose the subject that the child had never done. That's what I discovered when I engaged with them. So make sure that somebody who understands the system can support you. By reaching out to me, I was able to support her through that process. The other thing to also remember is that the school itself has support services. The support services are there to support you, the parent. So make sure, again, if there's anything confusing, anything you don't understand, do not be afraid. Do not be hesitant to go and use the school support services. So for the question that I was asked by that lady, what I advised was, make sure, write an email to the school to say you want to have a meeting to discuss. And what came out from that was that the school really did not understand the level or the ability of the child, because the child had just come into the country. So being able to use the support services in the school is one sure way of trying to advocate for your child. All schools will have information days. Make sure that you attend the information days so that you get better informed about the issues, the processes, the systems in that particular school. And if you do not understand, write anything down and follow up. Somebody will be sure to respond to you if you write and follow up. And also, I think perhaps what is really important is that your child understands that you are on their team. Even when you don't understand, you may be confused, you may be unsure, but let your child understand that you are on their team and that you are going to advocate for them. Advocating for your child does not mean that you do not allow them to take responsibility where that happens. But in the first instance, you must understand what the particular context is and be able to say, these are the circumstances and this is what is in the best interest of my child. Here is another question from another member of our community. How do I help my child respond to questions or assumptions about their backgrounds? Now, that's a really, really great question, because it's really common to be asked, where are you from? And sometimes there are assumptions about the places that we have come from. So, what I would say is this: first and foremost, let your child know, reassure your child that oftentimes people ask from a place of curiosity. They are curious about difference and just want to understand. So let your child know that it is okay to be able to respond to that question from a place of strength and positivity. Of course, I am assuming that you would have first of all responded to our question one, which is build confidence in your child about who they are. And let them answer succinctly where they are from. I am from Nigeria. And prepare them to provide a positive image of that place that they have come from. I am from Nigeria. For instance, you can say Nigeria has the largest population in Africa. 1 in 4 Africans come from Nigeria. So that allows your child to step out from positive. So whichever country you are from, you can support your child to respond in that way. Thirdly, let your child understand that if they feel uncomfortable about the question and its probing nature, that they can step away. They don't have to remain and respond to an aggressive, an unfriendly, or a racist approach to the question. Now, if you really, really want to help your child, what I would say is this: ever before they answer that question, role play with them at home so that they feel comfortable. And if they're comfortable when they're asked, they can respond in a positive manner as well. I hope some of this helped, but if you have any more questions, please put it in the comment section and I will respond directly to you. Thank you.